boots on the ground, putting it down. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you back to the Scoop. We're live. Happy Memorial Day weekend to all of you. I hope you're having a great time with your family and you're doing well here. This is the weekend, where we celebrate those men and women that have made the ultimate sacrifice and keep us safe where we are here in America. And greetings to everyone all over the world. We're joined today by a returning special guest, Dmoney, and we're going to talk about uranium. We're going to talk about Bitcoin a little bit. We're going to talk about the altcoin season, what's going on and stuff right now with Bitcoin. Welcome, Dmoney. Welcome back.
Thank you, Mickey D. I appreciate it. It's always an honor and a privilege to be a guest of yours. Appreciate the work that you do and all the advice that you give people.
Thank you.
How's your health doing? Last time we spoke, you're recovering.
Yeah. I still am. I'm still about, the doctor said, a couple months or so away from getting it all together, 2-3 months or so. I'm still swollen a little bit in that area, where I got the surgery and stuff. And I'm making it around, doing a little here and there, but still got a way to go. So I got to take it easy. And it's okay if people tell me, Mickey D, sit your butt down. I'm cool with that. So it's cool. So thank you for asking. I'm doing better.
Glad to hear.
It's good to see, Bitcoin doing what it's doing, and it's good to see some of the altcoins doing what they're doing. I know you enjoying that because that's you liking these all-time highs, huh?
I am, and it's only gonna get better. Some to the doubters out there, when Bitcoin hits 500,000, that's when everybody's gonna want to jump in. It's only at 110,000. It's too cheap. Nobody wants to get in at 110. They want to get in at 500,000. But no, Bitcoin is doing its thing. It's gonna keep on doing its thing. I can't say enough about Bitcoin. When Bitcoin rises, it pulls the rest of the alts up with it.
Yeah.
But right now, we just had a little pullback in the altcoins for like a day and a half. But our portfolio is things are turning around.
Turn
That's
around.
the thing about these alts. They go down fast and they come back fast.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin's in good shape.
I would be dereliction in my duty here as we talk about the military in this Memorial Day weekend if I weren't to ask you about the last market run with Bitcoin. And what happened to Bitcoin was it did its pullback. But my, oh my, what happened to 95% of those altcoins that did their thing? Are we going to have a same type situation? Are they going to lose their value and go down? Or?
Yeah, it's going to be the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. The difference between now and the last bull run is, I think every day, there's thousands and thousands of, cryptocurrency that come to the market. Meme coins, they kind of lead the way, but they're the most risky of the cryptocurrency assets because they don't have any real world use case. All it is a pretty coin with a catchy name, and people get behind it and they drive the price up. And then once once the bull runs over with and all that liquidity is gone, it falls right back to the ground. But now, this bull run, we have the ISOs, the XRP, the XLM, XDC, HBAR, and
Yeah.
those have real world use cases, that the banks, the institutions, retail, they're going to use them coins, to do business. So those are the coins that you want to accumulate over the long run and try to, get some generational wealth going. Those are the coins for generational wealth.
So uh, I like the idea of Bitcoin being and the altcoins being that kind of makeup trade, kind of equalizer. If anybody's behind or anything, they can really make up time or make up ground, with Bitcoin. Of all the trades we do, Bitcoin is probably the most violent trade, and last cycle, when we do, I've sanctioned a trade here that is basically uh, midterm trade. I don't sanction these midterm trades that much. This is actually the first one, and it's because we usually trade. We're 9 months up to 6 months before the happening. We cherry pick the stocks, and we make a lot of money because the stocks are very, very low, and we've hit it, several times. On the scoop, we prefer the stocks. And like I said, we're not giving stock advice. This is not stock advice. When neither one of us are stockbrokers or money managers or anything like that. So consult your local, whoever your local money person is. We don't want to be involved with that. But we're just giving you ideas and things that we see in the market. So we prefer those regulated stocks because I can tonight I can come out with a an altcoin myself, and or you can too, and anyone else out there all over the world. You can do your own altcoin tomorrow if you want to, and some of them blow up. Some of them, like celebrities, they blow up, but sometimes they come right back where they went. They come right back down. So
Yeah.
Some of are the ones you mentioned, are they a lot of them community driven? I mean, when I say community driven, I mean, is the retail crowd going to come back? Is this thing just going? They've been burned. They were burned last time. So are
Yeah.
they going to come back in droves, you think?
Yeah, they're going to come back in herds. I mean, in herds. And it's going to be good to see them and get that liquidity that they have. And yeah, you need that. But like I said, the last bull run, we didn't have this many altcoins. We didn't have, you know, this many meme coins. We didn't have, this all this cryptocurrency, and it's in its infancy stage. Uh, that it's probably the most risky asset class that there is, simply
Right.
because it goes up, and then the next minute, boom, the rug is pulled from underneath you. But that's where you have to do your own research and due diligence, and just know what you're getting involved in. you know uh
Sure.
and it's expanded. It's expanded. You got, Bitcoin is always going to be at the top. It's always going to be the leader. Then you have Ethereum, then you have Solana, uh and from there it just goes down and down. But you have some good quality coins that are finna light some stuff up on fire,
Okay.
and you can get some good returns. And it's just like stocks. Buy low, hold and sell high.
You'll be selling.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
this is a straight trade. Make no mistake about it. This is not an investment. This is, you see it as a trade, right?
mhm,
Not a
exactly.
buy and
But
hold. You know.
well, some of my coins I've had for a year,
Mhm.
and I'm almost at the end of the road. And some of them I backed the truck up, and I know that they're fin to, all that work that I did last year. 18 months ago, all that's going to come, to a crescendo in
Mm-hmm.
probably the next 30 to 60 days.
Think so?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to it because, you think trading stocks is, you know, a mind game. This crypto is, oof, it takes you on an emotional roller coaster. So if you're not ready for it, then I don't advise you to get into it because, you're up all night, checking on stuff. It's just, it's like being on a roller coaster. But once you
Yeah.
understand that, then you come up with another strategy, which is the hodl, buy low, hold, and then sell high. And you just have to, DCA into some of those good coins, But
Mm-hmm.
then you have the meme coins, which is, the highest grossing asset in the cryptocurrency, but they don't have any real value. They have the value that, the community assigns and, buys coins and, runs the market cap up to a few million or 50 million or, some of them are, looking at billions, the OG coins, Shiba Inu,
Right.
Deutsch, yeah, you're looking at, you know, Pepe, you're looking at, 30, 40, $50 billion market cap.
Didn't didn't the president come out with a coin and went way up and he sold, and did he sell, or what did you hear about that? I don't know exactly what.
Yeah, I did hear about that. And
He's
I was finna invest in that coin, and it was
okay.
his
Mm-hmm.
first official meme coin. And I forget, it ran up just astronomically in like
Mm-hmm.
less than a week. And the problem with that is that him and his family own 90%
Okay.
of all the coins,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
90%. So once everybody poured in their, little money, and everybody was, $5 here, $10 there. I saw some people were putting in millions. And I think when it got to
Wow.
a place that he liked it at, he decided to cash out and, pull the rug and destroyed a lot of people because they had, some people had their whole life savings,
Wow.
invested in this coin. A lot of MAGA, followed his, they do what he says and follow his lead. He, came out with that coin, and he had and this was the coin that he put out. The other coins before him, other people had put out, the Trump this coin, Trump that coin, all meme coins. This was his first official meme coin, and that's why, you know, the market cap went up so high because this was his project. And
Uh-huh.
true to form, boom, that
Wow.
rug got pulled,
That's
and they walked away with a lot of money. It was good for him and a few of the insiders, his family and stuff, and that was it. But he's involved. He has some, a couple other coins that have real world, value to them, like Ondo, and I can't see that happening with Ondo because there's too many, suit and tie guys that are invested in Ondo. There's, it's like, investing in Microsoft or something like that. One of them
mhm.
S&P 500 companies, and he doesn't have the leeway with that he has with the meme coins. Like you said, I can make one tonight, you can make one tonight, we can put it,
Right.
and they'll start buying it with a reputable coin like Ondo. You
Mhm.
can't do that. You have shareholders, you have you know boards that meet and invest. You have a lot of big big people invested, in his coin, and now he has another one that just came out, the World Financial Coin, World Liberty Financial Coin, or something like that. And I just stay away from any coin that he's associated with. I have some of Ondo, the one that I think is the most safest, and I don't have a big bag of that. But I stay away from anything that the president is involved in or that he's behind because, like the terrorists, they're here today and gone tomorrow. Here
Yeah,
today, and
well,
we're gonna put the brakes on it for 60 or 90 days. And when you're trading and stuff and in this financial market, you want certainty, so some kind of assurance.
sure.
And yeah, so I stay away from Trump coins and stick to what I know and you know what has real world use and
Right.
people in real world buyers, companies and banks and everybody in the financial world is up on certain coins, and those are the ones that I try to get into.
Try to work a little bit. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. I see. But I tell you, like I said, I sanctioned a a mid. It's a midterm trade, is what I call it. Uh, I still well because of some of the stocks actually were kind of really low, and I thought they offered some values, and we're kind of getting our crossover in our short to midterm right now. We're getting a short to midterm buy type signal, so we're kind of looking at it like that. But these altcoins, I'm not I'm not quite convinced that some of these ones that are community generated, retail generated, just FOMO, if you're missing out, just generated like that. I'm not sure that they're going to survive and do as well as they've done in prior cycles.
Yeah.
You
Well, last cycle, I think I think the market cap for all cryptos was I think it was like, I don't know, 1.75, maybe 2 billion. Now it's like 3.5, 3.6 billion, or a
Mhm.
trillion, I'm sorry.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot more money, liquidity, financial institutions that are
Mhm.
pouring in. I mean, all these banks are, American banks are on board, international banks are on board, bank 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 of Japan, uh they're all on board with this. You have countries in South America that have switched their whole currency over to crypto.
Right, right.
So for a president of a country to make that move, you have to be convinced, thoroughly convinced, because
Hmm.
I mean, this ain't your money. This is your country's money, the people's money, So, but, you know, stranger things have happened. I wouldn't be surprised, rug pulled on a whole country. Some
Wow.
people say that, you know, uh, this Bitcoin cryptocurrency is the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world. I don't see it that way. If I saw it that way, I wouldn't be involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a new asset class. You know, you can, you know, you can make some serious money, and it takes asset class like this where everybody is scared of that risk or risk off. This is too risky, too risky. You know, that's when you want to get in. You want to go in the direction that everybody else isn't going in. If there's 1,000 people going in that direction, you want to be one of the 1, 2, or 3 that's going in the opposite direction. That's when wealth is made.
Okay. All right. Well, we would definitely, be following up and seeing
Mhm.
where some of these coins go.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to ask you though, right now, today, you know, Bitcoin is up there. Altcoins are moving. Ethereum is moving a little. What is your one of your favorite plays right now in the market? One of your favorite altcoins. We'll stick with altcoins.
Well, my
Oh, I lost you there. What happened?
and I got to
I,
extend
I,
that
I lost
because
you. I
yeah,
lost you. Go ahead. I lost you. Would you?
okay,
Okay,
I'm back.
I
Yeah, I
can't.
said my favorite altcoin is XRP.
XRP. Okay.
Yeah, because it
Wow.
has real world you know value. Institutions, banks, anybody that's paying, any big company, any financial institutions, that's how they're going to do their cross-border payments, And the beautiful thing about XRP is, say 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, to send money, say from America to Europe, you would have to, go to the bank, fill out this paperwork, fill out that paperwork, fill out that paperwork. They're gonna take a couple weeks to, look at stuff, and it's gonna be a lengthy process. And with XRP, if you have the funds, it's just hitting the button. You have the coins, rather the XRP cryptocurrency. It's in your account. Boom, you just swap it out. You just send it. Hit a button, send it, and it gets confirmed that the money is what you say it is. It's all there, and it just cuts out all of that blue tape, and it takes us into the next, the next century, man. This digital currency is the future. It's don't fight it because it's not going nowhere. The sooner you adopt this, we're all going to be using it. It's like I was saying, the
Yeah.
ISO coins, XRP, XLM, XDC, XCN, HBAR, those are the coins that's going to make the world evolve, make the world run. Uh, coins like, my favorite meme coin right now. Well, it isn't my favorite, but Brett. I have a
Mhm.
big bag of Brett, and it doesn't have any use case, but it's a solid coin. It's been around for a few years, and I think it's at 8 cents right now. And at the height of this bull run, I got Brett going to $4 to $5. Between $4 and $5. So from 8 cents, 10 cents. Yeah, I think it's 10 or 11 cents right now. Yesterday, we just had a pullback. So I think it went down to 8, but now
What's
I think it's back to 10.
what's the symbol on that? What's that?
Um, just put in BRETT.
It'll go. It'll go. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
Brett.
what did that do last cycle? Did it go up that high or?
The last cycle, what? I'm not sure what Brett went to. And the thing about, you know, meme coins, and the reason I mention meme coins is because
Mhm.
they give you the biggest return. It's not
Yeah.
unusual for a meme coin to go up, 20,000%, 25, 30,000%. And that's pretty phenomenal. And meme coins is the only asset class that does that, hands
Mhm.
down. And you know, Brett has the like I say, I got Brett between $4 and $5 this bull run. And I was buying Brett at 3 cents. You know,
So you
X-
so you said
XRP,
yeah.
XRP right now, 229. I was getting it at 40, 50 cents. And that's one of
Mhm.
the ones that has a real world, use case. So That's one that you want to hold on to, pass some on down to your grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
And, 15, 20 years from now, when they're able to drive and stuff, they say, hey, let me check out that coin that grandpa gave. I wonder what's that worth. And you say, oh my goodness, how did grandpa know this way,
Mm-hmm.
way back then that this coin would be worth
Yeah.
it, what it is now? So like my granddaughters, that's my game plan with them is to
The
give them some,
coins.
some ISO coins.
Well, I hope they do very, very well. Those coins, leaving them the coins and stuff. I do have to interrupt here for a second. Uh, Superstar investor and Scoop team member, uh, Slug down in Southport, North Carolina, is weighing in, and he had a phenomenal week this week in uranium. And I must say that we did kick butt in our uranium baby knockouts this week. Did you catch that, Dmoney, a little bit there?
You know what? I knew that, yeah, uranium was going to take off. It was just a matter of when it was going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I took my trip to Africa, I decided to get out of the uranium, at least African uraniums. There was just too much volatility, in that area, and
you,
I
you
held on. Yeah,
you saw it
yeah.
firsthand in Africa what's going on, and they're trying to nationalize. It would take some of the actually they're trying to take some of it back. And I've told my audience it's a good thing for the world, actually, for
Mm,
Africa to recapture some of its beauty and some of its money and some of its gold
mm,
and silver.
yeah. Be in
But
control over its own affairs. That's what it comes down.
mhm. But what's happened is we've had not one, not two, not three, not four. We've had executive orders from Trump when it comes to uranium. And he said, well, we're going to go ahead and try and get this thing together. And I always say uranium, and it's really, he's focusing on nuclear energy, but the fuel for nuclear energy is uranium. So it's a uranium market for us. And we had our SMR stocks go up. These stocks, all the stocks went up. Everything went up. So it was really beautiful to get the support of Washington. I can recall we were waiting for the support from Washington with the cannabis. Remember, and we never got it. We were
Oh
waiting,
yeah,
we
yeah. I
waited
remember
and
that.
waited and waited because
Wow.
we were ready to jump back in. Stocks
Hmm.
had already gone. Stocks like Canopy had already gone from $2-3 up to $60. But coming back on the way back, we had all these promises. It's back to $2. So some of those stocks went where they came. But uranium, a lot of people, and have the uh-oh, somebody breaking in on me here. What's happening? A lot of people have the idea that uranium is really going to explode, and we're going to get help from Washington, and it's really going to do well. So uh,
Yeah.
that's where Slug is coming from uh, in South Point, North Carolina. He's had a big week, and I expect many others to have really super huge weeks with uranium. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
uh,
Uranium is an awesome, asset to have, and it's needed. Uh, it's clean. It's better than any energy that we're using now, simply because of how clean it is, how it burns, and it's. I was all into the uranium, man, and
mhm.
I took that trip to Africa. I had to go a different way, but there's still money to be made, with uranium companies, and especially them Canadians. What is the Athabasca
Athabasca Basin.
Basin.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
Athabasca Basin.
man,
It's
loaded,
high,
rich. Yeah.
high
Loaded.
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High quality uranium.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have some. I'll do some special shows, and we'll have some baby knockouts in that area. But right now, while the in the low 70s is the spot price, which is the longer term price is a little higher in the 80s. So it's better. That's the real one you really want to go by. Instead of the spot price. But we'll talk about that and I know you're waiting for lithium also to do its thing, and you've got some gold and silver and all
Mhm.
that. But we kind of wanted to focus on a little bit on the Bitcoin and the altcoins tonight because we don't do too many shows on Bitcoin. We especially don't do anything live on Bitcoin because we were one of the first shows to come out there and talk about this Bitcoin, 6, 7 years ago, when we had a little book. We had some stocks that we picked. We did very very well with our stocks. People there were historic trades. They went way up from pennies. They were all under $1. We
Yeah.
had yeah.
Yeah. When you can buy, a stock, a penny stock, for a few pennies, and that thing shoots up, what I'm saying, $50, $60. That's like, whoa,
Yeah,
okay. I like this. I can get into this,
yeah,
and
exactly.
I know Biden, he tried to get the uranium stuff, I think he, kind of initiated it and took it as far as he could take it, but you're always going to get resistance in America, in the
Oh,
political
sure.
realm, because you only got two parties. So whatever one party does, naturally the other party disagrees with, however good or bad it is. It's
Right.
it's American politics.
Yeah, there's a lot of politics going on.
Yeah,
But
and plays a key factor in how you trade. Also, you have to pay attention to current events, world events.
right, sometimes it's good to trade the news, sometimes it's bad to trade the news. But
Mhm.
when you gotta research and decipher what's good and what's bad when it comes to that news. But
Yeah,
for the most part, even though we're getting social, I would say, cuts and all that from this Doge and all that stuff. When you look at the big picture and you see what our trades are about, when you see what this will do to our gold and silver trade, what this will do to our uranium trade, what this will do to our, as far as mining goes, and these directives and these orders that you got to take it all and say, well, for the next generation, this may not be a bad thing as far as investing in mining goes. And
mhm.
we got a supporter of crypto. So you support crypto, you support Bitcoin, you're looking at it, it's an easy way to make money, and he's made a lot of money. But the big picture is this stuff might not, it might work. There was a lot of people that said the internet wouldn't work. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm dating myself a little bit, but there were, this is not going to work. When Doug Casey said he at a seminar, he said there'll be these letters coming and they'll land on your desk, in your computer. You'll be able to look at the letters.
Yeah,
He was talking
yeah.
about email, and
Email, right, right.
everybody looking at
What,
the conference like, what's this guy been
what
smoking?
are you, yeah, what are you
What's
talking about?
what's he talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
He was describing email. And
Hmm.
today, the U.S. Postal Service is the largest, but there's more email probably than ever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that, and everybody's different. People are looking at Bitcoin now and they don't want anything to do with it. They don't want
Hmm.
any, People don't understand it. I don't want anything to do with Bitcoin. What are you talking about altcoins? What are you talking about XRP? You know, I don't want to hear about this crap. Give me
Yeah.
$10 and you give me my change back, you know?
Yeah. I just had a conversation yesterday with a friend of mine, 40 years. We go back and he's retired, sitting on a stack of on a stack of money. And I was telling him about, he called me and he was asking about insurance, right? Because he needs a shelter.
Yeah.
And then we got to talking about cryptos, and he's like, man, I don't know nothing about that. I stay away from that, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that Bitcoin and stuff, I don't mess with that. It's I don't know it, and I don't want to know it, and this and that and that and that. I'm like, yeah, I get it. And people are resistant to change.
Right.
you
Sure.
know Before the internet, like you said, the letters are going to be coming on. Yeah, what is no,
Sure.
and I mean, I know people that, well, out me, for instance, I got a phobia when it comes to the computer, because I can, navigate, but I'm not as fluent as I'd like to be. And I'm going to bring that up. But, when you encounter, something that you're not used to,
Yeah.
you have to
Sure.
accept it. You have to lower, your wall, and, just get on board, and just try to understand it. Try to
Yeah.
understand it. And that's half of the battle right there, and that's half of the battle in the world. People, there's a lack of understanding, and people are really resistant to change. They want things to stay the same, but the world evolves. You can't
Right.
stop evolution. you know and
No,
this cryptocurrency, it's not we're not going to be able to stop it. So the
it's
sooner
moving.
people, accept it and start trying to understand and learn about it, the better off they're going to be. And it ain't going to kill you. It ain't going to bite you. It's just, sit down and watch some videos or read something, and, expand your horizons a little bit. And most
Right.
importantly, there's, money to be made in it if you know how to, navigate through there.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, Dmoney, I got a confession. Uh this AI with me as a bubblehead and all that other stuff, I'm not I'm not down with it. I'm not feeling AI yet. I'm not feeling they put my little my picture up there and I what they say and I'm just the videos, you want to say certain things and do certain things. And there are different AI programs out there, and you can use whatever you want to use, but uh, I'm just not feeling it yet. Am I kind of too old school when it comes to the AI or what? I got to grow on me, just like the internet had to grow on people, and just like Bitcoin will have to grow on people. Is
Yeah, it's going to grow on you. And that's, we're not going to be able to stop AI. AI is finna take all kind. You think Deutsch, slash some jobs. AI is finna take a lot of jobs. And once it gets in that arena,
Mhm.
it's over with. Those jobs, you never see them again.
Right.
But these AI is so intricate and so advanced. You have, you know, computers talking to other computers and
Yeah.
learning from other computers. And you have AI bots that run your social media.
Yeah. All that. Yeah. I can't hear you. I keep losing you every now and then.
Some of them are designed and programmed to just learn, to
That's
learn,
all they do. Yeah.
digest, information, to and then give it to you to make to put you in the most optimal position that you can be in. That's what AI bots do. And you have AI bots that do your trading for you also.
Yeah.
you know, and I looked into one AI trading bot. I didn't get into it because I like to kind of filter that through my own brain. But they say that the AI, you can't compete with it. It does all the, algorithms and stuff, and, processes all that, and, gives you the optimal road to go down for the biggest gains, and it's just, you see these cars driving around. I think it's Weiler or whatever. Well, I see him. Yeah, I see him everywhere.
Yeah.
That's AI.
It's here.
Somebody in the back seat and there's nobody in the driver's seat. You're like, whoa, they're everywhere.
Autonomous driving is coming. It's going to be here to stay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like
just,
18
I, I'm just being a stubborn old man. That's all. That's the way it is. You just being stubborn. But I know it's here, and really, I'm thinking about bypassing AI and just going straight to quantum computing
Mm,
because that's where it's at right
yeah,
now. At
yeah,
least that's what my
yeah.
stocks have told me. And we don't
Mhm.
do a quantum computing trade, but I do have in my retirement account. I have some stocks that I picked up that are really cheap. $3 or $20 now, $13, $18 now, and it hasn't even gotten started. So
Nope. Yeah, you
yeah,
talk
so
about the
those are
infancy stage.
those are
Yeah, we're at
holds.
the infancy stage
Yes,
of
yes, those are holds. Those are
yeah.
going to be
And you're
yeah.
getting in at the right time. You couldn't have got in at a better time,
Yeah, this is a good
you
time,
know.
and there's a few players out there, and we'll see where that goes. But that's a whole
Mhm.
different story there. That's a
Yeah,
whole different story,
yeah.
you know. But I did want to thank you for being with us, Dmoney. We will probably the old book, investing and understanding Bitcoin. Can we give away? Lately, I've been in the giving state. After you spend time in the hospital and you just want to give everything away. You
Mm.
know, I'm just being generous and just paying it
Why
forward.
not? Yeah, pay
So
it forward.
can they tomorrow starting tomorrow or the next day, you can go out and you can get the Big Point book. There'll be a Big Point book out. So I'll
There
put
you
it
go.
up.
There you go.
They can have
There you
it
go.
free. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. And also, I'd be remiss if
Oh, I missed you. I can't hear you. I wonder if
military.
okay,
Appreciate it.
okay. I couldn't hear you. That would you say? I couldn't hear that. Maybe they could.
Yeah, well, let me repeat it. I was thanking you for your service
Oh, yes,
in
sir.
the military. And I know your
Yes,
father's a veteran also. And,
yes.
I appreciate him as well. You come from a military family. Yeah,
Thank
so
you. Yes.
all your family,
Yeah,
you got some nieces, West
yeah.
Point grads.
Got a
Yeah,
lot of people.
man.
Pictures.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures with the presidents here. My niece is here
yeah,
lately, so it's yeah. They've really growing up, and it's been a military family all over the world, traveling all over the
mhm,
world.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
we appreciate all y'all sacrifice,
thank you very very
keeping us
much.
keeping us safe.
Thank you, and we appreciate you. And every time we come on, we learn something new, and we're gonna all follow up on those stocks because you guys, there was some great advice given to you. We're not stockbrokers, not money managers, not financial advisors. Anything we said should be researched heavily, and you should go over it with your stockbroker or your money manager, ladies and gentlemen. Um,
Definitely.
Yep, that's going to do it for us. Dmoney, how do we get a hold of you, or did you have anything you want to leave us with, or do you have any shout outs or anything for people out in Africa or anything?
I do. I got a shout out for peace and unity worldwide, man. Because right now it seems like we're in such turbulent times, and everybody needs to just you know take a chill pill and show a little common courtesy to the next man. It goes a long way. We're all in this together. We all from the same family, same race, the human race, and let's try to get along a little bit better,
Right.
and have a little bit more communication, a little bit more understanding in our lives, and forward that to the next person that you're dealing with. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you,
No,
Sluggy Sloan, Southport, North Carolina. Thank you for weighing in. Thank all of our regulars for weighing in to be part of the scoop on a weekly basis. Love you. God bless you. Take care of you and your family.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Sure.
About Africa,
Go ahead.
West Africa. We have a country, Burkina Faso. There's a young president over there that's trying to do some big things, and I just want Captain Traore to know that he has our full support, and we're behind him, and we want to see him successful.
We do. We've in the West. He's doing a fine job, and the West shouldn't turn their back on him because he just wants peace, and he just wants what's best for his people, and putting money in the pockets of the citizens is not a bad thing,
No.
and building and innovating. And I understand they have their new EV company. They have a new electric vehicle company out there. They've got
gold
a lot of
refinery.
Refinery,
refining their own gold.
Refining their own gold.
He's doing some big things over there.
They're big things in Africa, and the West is not very excited about that because he's stomping kind of. Well, let's face it. When you've had resources that have, that's like my friend Mark would say, go down that rabbit hole there, we get lost.
Yeah.
So he'll go there.
Yeah.
But we do understand in the West that he's doing some big things for his country and stuff. And we appreciate it, and all love to him. And all love to him. And hopefully he can raise up the continent, because as the continent rises, the world will be in better shape.
Yeah. And that's what he's trying to do. And that's what will happen, indirectly. A lot of people don't understand that, and all he wants is what, any leader wants for their country, which is, the best, to control your resources and your assets. And, if you sell something, you want to sell it, on the market and get a fair market price for it.
Right.
And, he ain't no different than anybody else. He just, wants to take care of his people. And I commend him and respect him for that.
When you're back over in the motherland, we are definitely going to have you on, and we're going to talk about what's going on and what the feel is there right now, because a lot of Western investors have a lot of investments in Africa right now, and they're uneasy because of what's going on, the unrest right now in Africa. But people have made a buku amount of money, even in time of civil war. And the young man that you're talking about, the captain, I see him as really no threat to the West. I don't see him as a threat to the West. I see him as somebody that's maybe have aligned with Russia, or aligned with, because that's what we refer to them as. What are we, the shithead countries or something? Is that what they said from the White House? So how could you, so they're aligning with them, but they're also
shithole countries.
Yeah, well, they're also that was a slip of his mouth, I guess. But anyway, wash your mouth out with soap, dude. But anyway, that coming out, and now the resources are going to Russia and China, which is not too cool, So America's going, have a campaign, and they're going to say, this is that, they're bad people, their countries. They're going to send people out like they send Americans out to, not tell them the truth. and send them
Right.
out to say things that are not true.
Yeah.
You know, I still to this day, it's still painful at what they did to General Powell during the.
Colin Powell. Yeah.
Yeah, that was real painful. Sending them out there to say that they had weapons of mass destruction and they had nothing, and they knew they had nothing, and we knew they had nothing.
Yeah,
we knew the guy had nothing, and we sent him out there to. We're doing the same thing now with Captain. We're sending people out there to say that this guy's using his own gold to protect himself. No, shut down, Mickey D. Shut it down. Dmoney, we'll see you another time.
All right. Thank you.
Down.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Love you, man. Take care.
Love you too. You too.
All right.